I'm Finn, this is Izzy. Welcome to another fun family cookery with West Limerick Resources SICAP programme. Today we're going to make some things that are fun to make but don't actually require any cooking whatsoever. Well, a little bit of microwaving maybe, but no real cookery. So they're for those days when the kids really want to do something but the last thing you want to do is turn an oven on and heat the house up. So they're kind of ideal for the summer. First job we're going to do is, as usual, we're going to wash our hands. And I'm going to get Izzy to talk you through her Mars bar squares. They're like Rice Krispie squares but magnified to the nth degree with a little bit of an extra flavour. So they're your absolute favourite treat.
Yeah. And
we make these quite a lot. So Iz, do you want to talk everyone through what you do?
So I have Mars bars. You don't need to use Mars bars. You can use Snickers, double deckers, anything that's kind of caramelly and chewy or anything like that. I have butter.
That's about 50 grams maybe.
Yeah.
The great thing about this recipe is you don't really need to measure anything, do you? It's just a bit of that, and enough Rice Krispies to bind it all.
Yeah. And also I have some chocolate. So I'm going to put everything in the jug.
Yeah, you're going to chop it up nice and small. And she's going to pop it in the jug. And we're going to microwave it for a couple of minutes. And then we're going to add it to her big bowl of Rice Krispies that we have sitting here. While you work away on that, I'm going to talk everyone through our ice cream. Ice cream puts a lot of people off. They're always scared of it because you think you're supposed to heat egg yolks and everything like that and make a custard. And that is a really gorgeous ice cream, and we've done that once or twice. It is gorgeous, but it is a lot of work. We have found a super simple ice cream that you can make without any of the fuss, without any of the hassle, and it is 2 or at most 3 ingredients. Your first thing is 500 millilitres of fresh cream. So this is a 500 ml container of that. We pop that straight in, splash ourselves. And then we get a tin of sweetened condensed milk. A lot of the supermarkets actually do their own brands of these, so you don't have to buy the expensive version. And they taste just as tasty, so it's entirely up to you, especially if you're going to kind of be trying it for the first time. You don't want to be spending a whole load of money on stuff, so it's good to try it with a less expensive version. Now the third ingredient is vanilla. Now you can use vanilla extract, vanilla essence or vanilla bean paste. This is gorgeous. This has got the tiny little beans in it, and it does make a difference. If you don't have it, I wouldn't be too stressed about it. It does taste lovely with just those two, but the vanilla paste or the vanilla extract or the vanilla essence really does add a certain something that makes it taste really like that Mr. Whippy stuff you get from the ice cream vans. So that's all 3 ingredients in there together. Now, this is where the hard work comes in. You have 2 choices. You can whisk with one of these, and that'll take about an hour and you'll end up with mussels like Popeye afterwards, but it's if the kids want it, it's a great way to get them involved, whisking and taking turns to whisk. If you have one of these electric beaters, all the better. Even with the electric beaters, you're talking 5 to 10 minutes before it becomes big and frothy and fluffy and delicious. I'll just get it started. You really need to get down to the bottom because your condensed milk has actually sunk to the bottom, so you need to really get it whisking to get it back up there. And like I said, in real terms that will take about 5 to 10 minutes to get it till it looks literally like whipped cream. And once it's like whipped cream, you just pour it straight into a container, any glass or plastic container that you have, you can pour it straight into that and pop it into the fridge, and that's your vanilla ice cream. And I'm going to show you some that we made earlier just like that. But with this one, what we're actually going to do is we're going to turn it into a strawberry and raspberry ripple. So I've kind of got a few raspberries here and a couple of strawberries, and to be honest, they've been sitting in the fridge for about 3 or 4 days, so they're actually on the cusp of being overripe. They're slightly mushy. They're not quite mouldy or furry yet, but give them another day or 2 and they possibly will be. And that's actually the ideal time to use them up. because that's when they're at their peak of sweetness and flavour. So if this wasn't so sweet, you could put a little sprinkle of icing sugar or sugar in with these when you mash them up, just to make them that little bit sweeter. But because this ice cream is so sweet and so creamy, you really, the sharpness of the raspberries and the strawberries is actually a good counterpoint to them. So once you've mashed them up, you'd swirl them into that, and you'd swirl them just ever so gently so that it looks like a raspberry ripple. This is gorgeous. In the past, we've done it with nuts, caramelised nuts. We've done it with chocolate chips. I remember one time we actually melted chocolate and swirled it through so it looked like a chocolate swirl. So what you do is, once you've made all of that, you pop it into your freezer for 3 or 4 hours, ideally, at least, overnight if you can. And what you're left with is just this gorgeous, creamy, whipped ice cream. And that amount made me just over a litre of ice cream, so it's quite a decent amount. You've done all your chopping, love?
Yeah.
Do you want to put that in the microwave for me?
Sure.
So that is our finished product, and it really is gorgeous. Probably going to make it impossible for me to scoop it up. No, actually, look at that. It scoops perfectly. And it really, what do you think?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going to try and get this out. Ah, my scoop is broken. We're going to hand this to our camera person. We'll treat ourselves in a minute. You can sprinkle this with a flake, with ice cream, with anything, and it really is gorgeous. And like I said, with the raspberry ripple, it's gorgeous too. We're handing this off camera. And we'll have a few of those in a minute. Meantime, back to our Mars bar squares. So you've got your Rice Krispies.
Yeah,
in
the mixtures in the microwave.
So that's butter, 3 or 4 of the little mini, small snack size Mars bars, and the chocolate, a full bar. We get the 200 grams of this stuff.
Rich, dark kind of chocolate.
Yeah, it's kind of darker than the normal chocolate. It's a little bit sharper, a little bit less sweet. We love that. Now, that'll take a couple of minutes in the microwave, and Iz will check on it every now and again. When it's all melted, we stir it in. We've probably got about 100 grams. Do you know what? Again, like everything, don't worry about measuring it. You throw a few handfuls of Rice Krispies in, and if you need more Rice Krispies, you add them and keep mixing. When that's all mixed, do you want to grab a spoon there, Iz?
Yeah.
Ooh, very close. Do you want to see if that mixes?
Yeah, sure. That mixes very well.
It's very close, I'd say.
So just a little more longer.
Yep. I'm going to pop that in for another minute or so. And when that's all done, we'll mix it. We'll turn it out into a tray like this that's been lined both ways with the cling film, so kind of overlapping that way and overlapping that way. And you can use baking paper if you like, anything that's kind of going to help you lift it out. Then what we usually do is, once we've scraped out that jug, we get a second bar of the chocolate here, we break that up.
And we melt it in the microwave and pour it over the top just to finish it off.
Yeah, it's like a topping on top of the rice, with the squares. And once then that's all done, you cover it up. Actually, I'd say that's done, Fizz. Yeah. You cover it up, you pop it into the fridge for a couple of hours, then you take it out, turn it out, and cut it into squares, and that keeps in an airtight container. I would usually say for days, but unfortunately in our house it doesn't even last that long. We made a batch on Sunday, and this is all that's left from the kind of the 16 squares you normally get from that. So everyone kind of dips in and grabs some. Again, a lovely treat to have. It kind of just elevates the Rice Krispie square to something a little bit nicer, a little bit more special, and really, really tasty. And again, if you want to make it even fancier, you can drizzle white chocolate over it. You can do whatever you like. So, we're going to carry on making these, and we are going to treat ourselves to some ice cream and some squares now. But listen, thank you very much for watching for the last few weeks. We hope you'll try some of the ideas that we've given you. The idea really is to just get you out there, get you trying a few things and not worrying too much about weights, measurements, ingredients, just giving it a try. So we hope we've encouraged you to do that. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye.